So, hey guys, Chauzu here. So I thought I'd talk about the new batch for the upcoming treasure map. I have not done it yet because I've been 100% focused on Grand Voyage, and my Grand Voyage coverage for the new Arlong one is about to start to die down, so time to think more about the treasure map. We can start to look at our new free-to-play unit, which is going to be a Bege. This Bege is a int shooter driven unit. Has some decent potential abilities. Berry Pan, always nice to have. Hunger as well. As usual with free-to-play, you stop at 2 stacks. Capability is actually pretty strong for a free-to-play unit. You can go up to 4.5 times attack when you're at very low HP for shooter and driven. 1.3 times HP, 10% damage reduction. So yeah, can't complain. Special. Changes slots including block to matching. Reduces paralysis by 6 turns. 2.25 times call affinity for shooter and driven for 1 turn. If captain is a shooter, you also remove bind by 6 turns. And if captain is a driven, you lock your orbs for 1 turn. So you have a lot of potential there. Either you like if your captain is driven, you keep your orbs, and if captain is shooter, you also get more utilities. That's pretty nice bonuses. And obviously if captain is driven shooter, you get both, but that's a pretty rare class combination. So can't complain. Very good free-to-play unit. Not the most unique, but neat, I'd say. Always worth to get the new treasure map free-to-play unit anyway. He even has some rumble abilities, but those are usually not the best, so nothing worth looking at, to be honest. Yeah, with that, let's jump into the Sugofest. I guess we can point out, in case anyone missed it, that the next free-to-play is probably Barto and Cavendish. Free-to-play per rumble unit that should get us 6+. Okay, with that, let's jump into Sugofest. As said, this month I'm not pulling. I'm setting up my gems for the anniversary mainly, of course. Which is a shame in this case because this Sugo is actually very good. Well, at least the new units are very good. I think they did a great job with the legend Bonney, V2 Bonney, as well as the new Blackbeard and Urouge. Let's start from the back, I guess. We can start with Urouge. This is actually one of the best treasure map recruits we've got, period. This Urouge is really good. Urouge is a sci-fighter powerhouse. Captain ability, nothing special. You want to use Bonney Frank Captain anyway. 2 stages of special. Level 1 has 8 turns. Reduces special bind attack down by 3 turns. 1.75 times war boost for side characters for 1 turn. If you have 4 or more side characters, you also get a small side base attack boost. So level 1, not the most impressive. Level 2 is what's impressive though, because they add that you reduce the CD by 1 turn as well as reducing special bind and attack down by 5 turns. This is really good because one of the most annoying combinations you can face in content is getting both special bind and special reversed, but this Urouge can handle that combination. He doesn't have fear yet, but obviously whenever he gets Limit Break expansion in like a year or whatever, he will get fear as well. They always do that with units like this. Not only that, amazing utility. He also gives 2 times ore boost for side characters for 1 turn, and the base attack boost is buffed to +1000, so they did a really good job. This might be just the best Urouge unit total, and that includes a legend. So yeah, finally a big W for the big boy. He also has a support that is very good. Can be put on any verse generation. And when you enter battle tree, you change the supported character slots to recovery and boost side character space attack by plus 500 for one turn. This is going to be a great support, not just because it's extra free damage, but think about a super boss, for example, when the content doesn't allow base attack boosting specials. Usually that means you can't use a lot of different characters, but with this support, you still get a base attack boost potentially, but even more so you can use special normally wouldn't be able to, like Super Tandem Nami, for example. So if we had this for the last super boss, for example, we had one variation where we couldn't use Nami because she did a base attack boost, among other annoying things that stopped her. But with this support, we could have still been able to use her, we just don't get the maximum effect of it. It's a very cool, unique support for sure. Moving on with Blackbeard, not as impressive, but he's pretty decent. Driven Fighter Int Blackbeard, that's basically sacrilege. Int Blackbeard was supposed to be Driven Powerhouse, but yeah. I guess Bonney wanted some variety. Berry Pan, always good to see the best potential ability basically. Captain ability, yeah, not great. Special. Changes all slots to Int, reduces barrier by 2 turns, boost Int driven and fighter cast attack by 2.25 times for 1 turn, and if you already have an attack boost, you get an orb boost instead, 2 times orb boost for 1 turn. It's decent, like you get full board of potentially matching. The reason it changes all slots to Int is to synergize with Bonney, by the way. Reducing barrier by 2 is nice, not the most common. And you make sure you get some boost as well. Even if you already have an attack boost, you get an orb boost at least. So not the most unique unit, but yeah, some unique effects for sure. Also resist remove SFX. I didn't mention this for Urouge, but he resists special reverse and special bind. So that's a good combo. Support can be put on any Blackbeard pirate, but this is a very weird support. If you use a special to boost type effects, changes support character slots to Int and reduces the duration of all enemy barriers by 1 turn. So yeah, you have to use a special that gives color affinity to remove that barrier by 1 turn. So it's basically just like 4 or 5 Blackbeard pirates, like the free-to-play Treasure Map Shiryu, Treasure Map Recruit Burgess. There's a Lafitte as well. So maybe there's also Fan Ogre too. Yeah, there's not many at least who can do that. Finally, let's talk about the new legend, V2 Bonney. Actually pretty good. Fighter, Free Spirit Psy. We have the very rare recovery down resistance. I think this is only the second time a legend gets this, and the last time was V1 Bonney. I might be wrong there, maybe we had something more who got it. I feel like some rare recruiter free to play got it, but I can't remember who. Hunger as well, always good to have, and some pin shielding. So Bonney is a fighter superclass. And let's take a look at her captain ability. Cyan fighters get 5 times attack. Pretty unique that a fighter free spirit doesn't boost free spirit but fighter. But in the end they have to start doing this because fighters are basically totally worthless in the game now. 5.4 times attack if they have recovery orbs. Boost HP by 1.2 times. high rate to get recovery orbs. Turns int orbs into recovery orbs. That's a very unique and cool effect. You can obtain recovery orbs when hitting perfects, which is very good. And also increases color affinity if you tap with a recovery orb by plus 0.5. So as you will see, Bonney will be able to give a lot of color affinity with her quick hit. The main negative is that to get the extra boost you need recovery, which is obviously not perfect for stuff like Super Boss Kizuna, even if Bonney might still have some niche there. As for the special, you apply increased damage taken to all enemies by 1.5 times for 1 turn. Note that this is not true full immunity, which is unfortunate. Since it's such a low boost, I think it should have been, but it is what it is. You boost the type effects for Psy and Fighters, that's color affinity of course, based on how many recovery orbs you consumed. You start with 2.25 times, work yourself up to 2.5 times if you consumed 8 recovery orbs, and you max out at 2.75 times at 12 or more, which is obviously amazing but pretty hard to get to. But of course, if you do get that 2.75 times color affinity, you can buff it a further plus 0.5 with Bonney's Captain, so potentially 3.25 times color affinity, pretty insane. Changes the attack multiplier of recovery orbs to 2.25 times when slots match. That's also pretty nice, makes her a bit more viable as Captain against Super Boss Kizuna, since 1 is 2.5 times, so this is not a lot behind it, and you can make up for it in the color affinity and as we see soon with the super class special. But yeah, I think it should have done some utility as well. There's basically 0 utility here, which is very weird in 2023. Could have been something like a lot of Bonney's remove bind, that would have been perfectly fine in my opinion. But yeah, feels like this is a unit that they might design to want you to use against Acid, Super Boss and such, despite being a treasure map unit. The super class, need one of the worst generation, not so hard. Changes all slots including block to recovery, and you get that chain boundary, starts at 2.75 times up to 40 times, and changes fighters to super fighter. So yeah, this is now one of the best Psy chain boundaries you can get, which makes Bonney Captain enticing even if she's a superclass fighter, which is not optimal. So with her kit you can both potentially get some increased damage taken if the game allows it. You can get the big color affinity, probably won't be as big as you want, but might be possible to get that 8 recovery orbs, depends on the team you use. And in that case, you'd get a 2.5 times buff to 3 times color affinity with your Captain. And you'd also have the big chain boundaries. You don't have to run something like Wonder Law, which continues to be on most side teams in Super Boss. So yeah, she has some utility there. Don't think it's worth talking much about other content since she does like no utility at all. But it will be especially fun to try out not having int orbs. This also means that if you get unfavorable orbs and on a side team, you get a full board of recovery orbs. That's pretty funny, I'd say. But yeah, that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.